Hi guys, Love Me here, and welcome to my personal pause for the month of September. I want to apologize for not getting my personal pause out for last Friday, which is normally my schedule. I try to do the first Friday and the third Friday of the month, and with last week being our first week of homeschool, it just did not work out. So I said I'm gonna try to do it this Friday. And so here I am, and I might see how this works out. I might do the second Friday and the third Friday. We'll see. It just really depends on how that first week of the new month goes as far as homeschooling. But anyway, I want to welcome everybody to my channel, all my old subscribers, all my new subscribers. And if this is your first time hanging out with me on my personal pause, what it is I talk about things that I want to talk about and just share my thoughts. And you are more than welcome to join in on the conversation by just commenting down below. So, for this week's personal pause, it is going to be a special needs parent edition. Guys, it saddens my heart um, what some of us special needs parents have to go through. And really quick, for those of you that don't know, I am a wife. I am a mother of two boys, and I am also a special needs mother. My oldest son is special needs. He has anoxic brain damage, cerebral palsy. He's developmentally delayed, and he's tube fed. He's non-ambulatory, which means he cannot walk. He uses a wheelchair. He has a tube feed that goes into his stomach. Um, but he is full of life. He makes noises. He laughs. He giggles. He fusses at us. Um, so that's my oldest son, and he's 16. And then we have a 7-year-old little boy who they would call typical development. He has no delays, no mental um, disabilities or anything like that. So, like I said, this video is going to be about special needs parents and just some of the things that we have to go through, some of the things we have to think about. Um, so, yeah, the first thing I want to talk about is truancy for special needs kids. And I bring that up because I have been recently trying to help a mother go through the process of trying to homeschool her son who is undiagnosed. And what that means is her son has complications. He has physical complications. He has mental disabilities, but the doctors don't know exactly what that is. And I can honestly say, I think within my lifetime of being with being a special needs parent for 16 years, um, I think I can honestly say I've come across two kids. This young boy whose mother I'm trying to help, and then another child I know personally who they were undiagnosed. And that can be so hard on the parents because they clearly see that something's wrong, and they might think it's one thing, but then the doctors are telling them it's not. So you can have a child that is displaying, signs that they have cerebral palsy, signs that it may be autism, signs that it may be, you know, digestive issues that's causing them to have problems with keeping food down, or allergies, and it also affects them in other ways, and they can get their children tested many times, and results just come back inconclusive. And so that can be frustrating. And so my heart goes out to parents who are in that situation where they have a child that is displaying, you know like I said, either physical disabilities or emotional or mental disabilities. and they're undiagnosed. My heart goes out to parents that are dealing with that. But like I was saying, so I was recently talking to a mom that is looking to homeschool her son. She has started the process, and I was trying to help her um, with that. But she had been hit with truancy for her son because he missed so much school last year. And he does have some intestinal stomach issues that caused him to get sick, along with some other things. Um, and there was another mom I talked to as well, and she went through the same thing with her son a while back, where he was just sick so much, and they hit her with truancy for him. And her son, I knew her son personally. Um, he was, I can't remember exactly what he had, but he was in a wheelchair. He had to use sometimes he would use I think a touchpad to help communicate and stuff like that. So I mean, he definitely had his physical and mental disability. And then in 2013, I was hit with truancy for my son at that time. And it's sad because the board, the state, they do not see our kids as special needs. They see them as a number. Um, no, student zero, whatever, whatever. They see them as a number. And I don't think it's fair for special needs children, more so the parents, because this falls on the parents. I don't think it's fair for special needs parents to be hit with truancy. If you if your child has a history of chronic illnesses, if your child has a weakened immune system, um, if your child if your child just gets sick very easily, or their disability is, affecting them to where they can't get up in the morning. Prime example, my oldest son, he has moments where he wants to stay up all night and make his happy noises. So when he was in school, we had moments like that where he was up all night, just excited. And there was nothing we could do to get him to calm down. We could go over to him and say, hey, you need to calm down, but he's not just going to calm down because we told him to. Once all that energy gets out of him, then he'll calm down. But there was times, like I said, he would be up for hours, and then 6 o'clock come around, 6:30 come around, he's just not going to sleep. Now I got to get up at 7 and now try to get him up for school when he just went to sleep maybe an hour ago. So then you send him to school, which we've done both. We've done where we've kept him home because he was up all hours of the night and then didn't go to sleep until, like I said, 6:30, sometimes 7 o'clock. There was times where we sent him to school when he would do that, stay up, and then it's like, okay, we're going to send him to school. What happens at school? Get a note from the teacher. He slept all day. So what was the point of sending him? And the teachers that my son had were nice. They were nice teachers. We had a good rapport with them. If you guys see me moving back and forth, I'm kind of in a chair that kind of rocks. So I'm going to try not to do that too much. But we had a good rapport with those teachers. So yeah. So we would also take him out of school when wintertime came, when sicknesses were really getting ramped up. Again, you have other kids in these special needs classes that they can't cover their mouths when they sneeze. Um, they might put their hands to their mouths, or some of those kids might have oral fixations where their fingers are in their mouths. And then they walk by your child and, touch your child and put their saliva on them. And I'm not faulting these kids because that's what they do. Some kids have oral fixation and it soothes them. Like, that's fine. That's what they do. I, as his parent, and my husband, we have the option, and we should have the not. I have the option because we kept him home, but we should also have the choice without being penalized. I guess that's what I'm saying. To keep our child home so that he won't get sick. Because what happens is if he catches pneumonia, which he's had pneumonia before a long time ago when he was little, but and it was not a pretty thing, you know. So if my child catches pneumonia and he's in the hospital because he caught it from being at school, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, it's just best. I know my child. I can tell if he's on the verge of getting sick, you know. So it's like, let's just keep him home. And my husband and I, we did that. We kept him home for the whole winter one time. And by the time we sent him back, you know, all the sicknesses had kind of went away. And his teacher wrote us a note saying he missed all the sicknesses and appreciated the fact that we took that. We made that choice to keep him home. Now, that's not what he got truancy for. He got truancy for, well, he was going to get truancy for. We took him out because we were going to get ready to homeschool him. We just weren't happy with the direction the school was going. Again, his teacher was fine, but we didn't like the direction that the administration was going with the school, basically. So we decided to keep him out. And I think sicknesses was going. No. He ended up getting C. diff. He ended up getting C. diff, which affects your bowels and it makes your bowel movements smell really, really bad. And he had never had that before. So I feel like he got that because he was exposed to other kids. And also, fecal matter. Like, you got to make sure you clean down things good when you change kids that are incontinent. So, I mean, I'm not blaming anybody. And he didn't get really, really sick. I mean, we caught it at a good time. I don't want to say at a good time, but because we're aware of our son, we saw that something wasn't right. Got him to the hospital, got that taken care of. But we were just, we're like, okay, they have a lot on their plate. The teachers have a lot on their plate. The aides, they don't have enough help with certain kids. They're not getting paid enough, too, honestly. And so we kept him home, and we're like, we're not sending him. Now, this is before I knew about the process for homeschooling. Like I said, it was fresh, and all I knew is we need to have him home. So once I found out what I needed to do, I did the paperwork that I was supposed to do and all of that stuff, and I kept him home. But I still hadn't got my letter saying that he was officially excused for that school year. And then there was like one other issue. I think it was like an issue of like textbooks for the curriculum. They wanted to know which textbooks, and that bothered me as well, because I'm like, he can't read, he can't write. Why do I need to write a list of textbooks for him? Like, that type of stuff I felt was ridiculous. And I think, sidebar, this video is probably gonna be longer than 20 minutes, but just hang in there with me, guys. But sidebar, I think they also should have a special needs department for homeschooling, because our needs are so different than the general education. Again, kids with cerebral palsy, kids that have autism, kids that have Down syndrome and things like that, to where if it's really severe and they can't read and write, we should not be required to give you a list of books for children that cannot read and write. And also, if you need documentation, we can get medical records. We can get their doctors to write a letter saying this child has that. Like, we can give you their diagnosis. So yeah. So I was getting marked for truancy because I hadn't officially got the letter saying that he could be miss that school year, and then I hadn't turned in that list of books. So I had got that all taken care of. And I had got a call that there was like a truancy officer is going to come out. But before that even happened, I had already took my paperwork down and gave them the missing information that they wanted. So that list of books, I just, gave them a list of books. So I had already turned that in, but I had got a call prior to that saying that, oh, we're marking him as truant. And I'm like, okay. And so that same day that I got my letter, crazy thing, guys, same day I got my letter saying that he was excused for that school year, the truancy officer comes to my door about my son, and I showed him the letter. And he was like, he apologized and this, that, and the other. But this other mom, she was going through the same thing. Her son, because of his stomach issues, missed a lot of school. Hold on, guys.